Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rolling Nomads. We're on episode 5 of Colder Than a Twitch's Wit. I've got no announcements to make. I'm really looking forward to see what these guys want to do, considering, it's like, hey, are we going to do the plot? No, we're going to adopt 14 orphans. Let's meet the players.
Good day, I am RA-THERIS, servant of ZERRIS. I have spent much time preparing this building for His Majesty. It is still not complete. I failed.
I think I'm just here. I seem to be just here.
Thoughts with STIRIA. Trade villages such as this often find many a wayward soul that settles down. The blend of culture and law can be chaotic to some, but for others it's just a natural part of the process of becoming older. Something about as normal as snow on a winter's day.
Shawty gonna get that paper. Shawty tongue ripped like razor. Shawty got wick got flavor. Pardon my tits and makeup. Pay her. Thoughts with ZERRIS.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was gold. that was gold as shit.
Yeah. Wise words indeed.
I love the
Wise
piggyback.
words indeed. And
I love the fucking
honestly,
piggyback.
I will say I hope that one day we get paid for this. Just if that comment alone was not enough, then just maybe one day.
No one's gonna give us an ad with a 10-foot fucking pole, dude.
You know what? I can dream.
No,
I can dream.
Hold on, there's a what the fuck?
When it comes a day where I don't have to sell my body for money, that'll be a good day.
Until then,
I'd rather sell it for fun, but that is beside the point. That is a topic for another day. Because tonight, last time,
I'm just here.
Last time. Before we get too far, what happened last time?
I got you.
There we go, getting distracted. Yes, please, by all means.
We followed the 3 orphans that tried to steal from us to their main hideout, which a bunch of their children cohorts were pretty upset about until we explained to them that we were here to help. Took a little bit of convincing, some assessment, found them in a pretty rundown home, a lot of holes, a lot of tattered clothing, not really a whole lot of blankets. Very much not equipped for winter. So, we took it upon ourselves to assess the situation, contribute some gold, and realizing that it was going to get them through the winter, but that's about it. So we decided that we were going to take a more direct approach. I split off from the group and handled some stuff that I'll get to very shortly. RA-THERIS remained behind and began to fix up the home using the mending spell, just completely sealing up the holes and such, so they can have a proper place to live. STIRIA and NIAM went along with a couple of the other children. I forgot the children's names. Right, Bruno. His name was Bruno. Fuck that, I got this. Went along with Bruno, one of the children's most experienced ringleader, to deal with purchasing supplies, blankets, and food and such. In addition to that, RA-THERIS, I believe, joined them after that, and I had asked him to act as their.
You had asked me to guard Bruno's life. Yeah. I was there the entire time. I did not stay behind till a later date.
Thank you. I had asked RA-THERIS to guard Bruno, and he did exactly that and nothing else, and he did that to a T. He did the job very well, and is the best little ooze boy that money could ask for.
I have earned ZERRIS' praise.
I don't like that. Okay.
I don't like that.
we then
my life has meaning.
But give him a sock while he go away.
Myself, I
oh my god,
fell back on some old habits, and went to the local blacksmith, removed my armor, my shield, and my javelin, casting Arcanist magic aura on my armor. I lied to the blacksmith, telling him that it was magic armor, which technically was really only a half lie, and sold it to him for a hefty, decent amount of gold. I then departed, intent on never seeing him again. However, his wife owns the inn that my companions were intent on eating dinner at that night.
Works at the inn. She doesn't own it, but she
Okay,
works there.
and I had to eat a meal there and look that woman in the eye and pretend like everything was fine. And I did that, and the guilt is eating me alive, but that's okay. We're gonna get through it. We had a meal. We invited the children. They have full bellies. We told them a story as they drifted off to sleep. And tomorrow morning, I am going to use the gold that I have acquired to buy the house. And I have set up something with the clergy here to keep an eye on them and to make sure that they are well taken care of in my absence. Bruno will be my steward of the property, and he will be in charge of my monetary affairs while I am adventuring. So, hopefully the mayor's not a cock, and we don't have to resort to less than savory means to save the children. However,
If he is, I will remove his.
okay, we're not going to do that.
Well,
Take it
don't
away,
think-
David.
I don't think there's really any rooster races, so I don't think you have to worry about him being a literal cock. So
Excellent.
that's good. Yeah.
You know what? I'm just here.
Right. Yeah. And so yeah, last we had left off, you guys had told the kids a story and sent everybody off to bed. Excuse me. And normally we would just kind of fast forward a little bit and be like, "Hey, it's morning now. Go do things." But not today. Not today. We're gonna we're gonna do things a little bit differently this time around. So who was it who took the first watch last time? Was it Styria?
Me for first and second watch, as per usual.
First and second watch. Okay. No, so for this time around, again, normally this is more just one thing we sort of hand wave away and say, it's about this time. What time do you think that watch would have started at?
Probably about as soon as NIAM starts to trance and ZERRIS goes to sleep.
Okay. So let's see. So probably what about 11-ish? Or did you guys get to bed earlier than that? You think?
Probably closer to 10.
We went pretty fucking late into the day.
Yeah,
You did.
We probably closer to like 9 or 10. Given that they're children, we probably should put them to bed at a decent hour.
Yeah, and the story, I mean, many of them were nodding off during that, so probably by about 10 is when the older ones in the lot were really just kind of tuckered out.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So, with a first, the first bit, I'm assuming we're doing about 2 hours per shift, yeah?
Sounds about
So-
fair.
Okay. So if we started at 10,
Yeah.
and that means your second shift rather, should be getting done about 2 in the morning, right?
Right?
Okay. And then that's when you tagged out with NIAM, and I'm assuming you did your water thing.
That was done before.
Oh, that was done before.
with the kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is just more. You're just kind of hanging out while.
I did that specifically beforehand because I felt the need that I was kind of going to be needed here.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha. Well, it is about an hour into NIAM's shift where things feel a little different in the sense something feels off. The previously calm night that you've seen thus far and that we had left off with has started to take a turn for the worse, quite rapidly at that. And you can hear outside that the winds are picking up, and as despite his efforts, RA-THERIS definitely did. He certainly did improve the quality of this place, but the insulation here is not the best. So you guys are going to feel the bit of the force from that because there's still small holes in the wall and what have you. The animal pelts are helping, and certainly the repairs that ZERRIS did help as well. Excuse me. But more or less, there is a storm brewing right now. So for this first bit, you guys are definitely going to see a rapid drop in temperature, as well as the storm. So it's a good thing you locked up beforehand, because otherwise things would be thrashing about. But we're gonna go ahead and start that off with one of those frost checks there. So if you've got either resistance to cold damage, that grants you +5 to it, as well as the cold weather gear.
All right.
And those are
Oh fucking shit.
and those stack. So
Yep. And that's why I've got a fucking 24.
you are fine.
What was that check again?
So
Flat
it's a straight
D20
hit.
+5 for cold weather gear, +5 for
Oh.
cold resistance.
Cool then.
So this time around, we're looking for a. It's going to be a DC 15.
Met it on the die.
Hell yeah.
Natural 20.
Oh, you're way good. You're way good.
RA-THERIS, please.
I got a 7.
RA-THERIS, please.
So I'm the one above you.
So the ones who did get below the 15, you will be incurring a level of exhaustion for that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Cold weather's not fun, but we're not doing this like every hour, like the
It's once a day.
Guide. Well, usually once a day. Depending on the circumstances. So let me see. We've got. I'm just gonna count off, like, instead of just going down fail, pass. I'm just gonna say how many failed. So we got
Blank at 14 D20.
so 9 out of the 14 have failed their first save on this. Excuse me.
Of the babies?
Yeah,
Yes.
Kids.
9 out of 9 of them did not pass their save, so they're gonna get a level of exhaustion from that as well. Oh, thank you. Hot cocoa. Oops. Fitting, really. Okay, so with that, with this storm coming in, is there anything that you guys want to try to do during this part here? Since we got
What
the
can
got the
I
saves.
do?
Are the kids are in 2 mattresses, basically, you said? Kind of
It's kind of
piled together?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see because of how many children we have on the map right now.
No, I know. I'm just trying to mentally get it in my head.
Yeah, they're kind of like piled up on and around the mattresses.
Let me ask a question.
Huddling around, but it's very drafty still. Yes, STIRIA.
This cold weather, the cause of this problem is wind or just overall temperature?
Both.
Both.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a full-blown blizzard is right on top of you guys.
Okay, and that means we need to do something about some of the bigger holes. So that in mind, I'm going to see what I can do by using shape water to kind of create ice windows that can block the wind.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
It's going to take repeated castings of that in order for it to work the way I want it to work.
right.
So
But
basically,
because of
we
how
can
cold
say
it
that
is,
I'm concentrating on shaped water.
okay, yeah. I mean, with how much you're using it, yeah, that would definitely do that. Now, Quick question though.
The other
on
question
that.
is whether or not you would want to provoke some kind of check or save for that to work. But that's on your end, not mine.
For the shape water.
For doing it specifically the way that I want to do it.
To save them.
Right.
Because one instance could be moving or changing the flow of water up to 5 feet in any direction, forming
Right.
simple shapes or animating at my direction, changing color or opacity, freezing the water provided that there are no creatures in it.
Right.
And this is affecting a 5-foot cube area of shape of water.
Right. So, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but you're more or less shaping the water over whatever hole you want to cover and then freezing it to hold that shape.
Basically, yeah, because it's coming in as flurries of snow, so I'm using the shape water to take that snow, condense it into water, flow it onto where I want it to hold, and then freezing it shut so that's an ice window.
Right.
Doing that should be able to block the wind, at least from the directions where it matters.
Right. So with that, it's definitely doable. It is definitely doable. And you can fly, so you don't have to worry about stepping on children, which is, that's always a plus. So I would say with that, you can definitely do it. It's going to take you a little bit of time, just because there's
Absolutely.
a lot of,
That's why I'm thinking I'm probably going to be concentrating on shape water to do this.
yeah, you're effectively, you're going to be doing it just repeatedly. So that is fine, and that's definitely feasible. I'm not sure exactly how long that would take, because what is the casting time on that? One action?
It's one action per.
One action per, and then
With
it allows
an
you to-
instantaneous duration.
Right. So 5 foot, each one being a 5-foot square. So you would have to go around the whole perimeter of the building, obviously prioritizing the spots where it's the worst. And then the multiple levels of it, because if it's a 5-foot square, but a 15-foot or 20-foot ceiling, however tall, right? That's gonna, it's definitely
going to affect.
doable.
Yeah.
The math for it right now, based off of the map we're doing, I'm not sure what that is, but I would say I think it's reasonable that within the hour you would be able to patch up.
Which is exactly what I was
a
thinking.
portion of that.
Like I said, it's going to be mainly focused on the spots where the wind is actually coming from, like going through the holes.
Yeah.
And so by blocking it off in that manner, it's going to create a draft zone where people can stay warm or warmer.
Gotcha. I like that. And then, so quick question, because we do have a fire going and there's some ventilation for that. So I'm because I don't think RA-THERIS
I'd have to create some type of flow or slope above the hole so that the hole is still open for ventilation, but the wind is being blocked off from that hole.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so kind of like almost some weird cone shape going on there to kind of
like a cone or a nail or a curve.
I see. That way the smoke and the fumes and all that from the fire can still escape, not boxing it in.
That, however, I may be needing some assistance from another caster to really pull it off.
I can see that one being a little bit more difficult. So the fire is also being like subjected to the heat. I don't think there's anything saying that the
NIAM is on watch, right?
The ice. Yes.
Yes.
So I'm going to look to NIAM and I'm going to ask real quick, do you think you can do something about that? Pointing up to the gigantic fucking hole above the fire pit. I can help, but I don't think my power's strong enough for that.
Do we have any boards? Is there anything that I can try to make that hole smaller but leave the space for the smoke to go out?
Add a character, what options do you have available?
Well, we bought supplies.
Yeah, there were quite a few supplies left.
Yeah, but magic-wise.
Oh, magic-wise, I don't have anything.
Yeah, because
that's gonna help. I mean, I can create or destroy water, but
that actually would help quite a bit. Because
I'm new at this.
Because you're
Help me
seeing
out
me.
here.
no, you're
Well,
fine.
'cause-
You're fine.
So you've already seen
Go
me
ahead.
using shape water to basically form ice walls where there's holes.
Right. So am
Right?
I creating water for you?
Effectively, what we're doing is we're having the water made at the spot of the hole, and I'm using shape water to try to redirect the recently created water to create this sort of flow. So we're basically comboing our magic together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was gonna see if there was any way to lengthen entangle. Because if I could make the weeds and vines go up like the walls,
Hey, technically, you can.
is there any way to extend that?
There is, and it's by rules as written.
Ooh, I love it when the rules.
It's
as
that.
written
So entangle is 20
Yeah,
foot square, but that means 20 foot cube.
Right.
20 foot, because flat squares aren't really discussed as much
Sure.
as far as
Right.
areas of effect.
But that's what I was gonna see if there was any way that I could entangle, if I could use entangle to cover some of the holes.
Here's the major issue with that, right? That has a duration requirement on it. It can only stay up for at most 1 minute.
Well, that's why I was wondering if there was any way
And
to.
Think once the spell ends, the plant life returns to normal.
The plants wilt away.
Yeah, it would wilt
Yeah.
away because it's the magic from the spell that's sustaining them in that way.
Yeah.
So hear
But
me
if
out.
we conjured plants and then you froze
Hang
the
on.
water,
You're thinking using the plants as like a buttress,
right?
while the water is the structure. So like clay to an armature almost.
That's yeah.
And then with that, you go through and you freeze everything up. And then as the vines wilt away, you've still got the ice.
I think that could work.
But would the
But that-
vines wilt in the ice?
I think the vines will still end up wilting away. I think there is another caveat to that one, though. Do you have access to Druidcraft? Out of character.
I'm not sure.
Well, that makes things interesting because I'm gonna have to assume no based off of that.
I don't think so, hon.
So yeah, next best thing right there is
Is
that one I
this-
would believe would require an ability check from me to pull off.
Is this obviously this is leading to points of exhaustion out of character for mechanics and such. But Dungeon Master, is this looking at the children, is lethality a concern?
I would say at the present moment, no.
Okay.
It's an unpleasant evening for sure, but there's no mortal danger from this.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna try to make sure that all the kids were together and covered with everything that we had before I started trying to do anything else. I want to make sure that the kids are together.
Group
And-
them together so they get the
yes,
warmth and
the
then they'll
body
just
heat and
keep
stuff.
that in. Okay, nice. And I will say that if there are any future saves, that will definitely help them. That for sure, they'll definitely effectively getting the +5 for any future rolls if they have to make any.
Effectively, yeah. Meanwhile, what I'm trying to do is get that DC lower, and that's why I was asking, what's causing this? Is it just the cold? Is it just the wind? Is it a combination of both? Since it's a combination of both, I'm working on one of the aspects, which is the wind, by blocking where it's blowing.
Yeah. Sorry.
My
Yes.
druid circle's not gonna help this at all, is it?
Circle
Sorry.
of Dreams, correct?
Yes.
I don't think so, but if there is
Okay.
something about that I don't know about, then
Nothing at this
by all
level.
means. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So I would say that by the end of your first shift with the watch, you would have been able to patch enough of the holes to where the wind isn't as bad, using the shape water, and then using the method that you guys use to create that sort of chimney of sorts, in conjunction with getting the kids all huddled up and all that. That all I would say all of that takes you through the first bit of the watch. So, in STIRIA, I would imagine that you're going to be going throughout the night, and by all means, correct me if I'm wrong.
At the very least, trying to maintain what I've got set up, because this is by no means a permanent fixture.
No,
Not
no.
the fucking slightest. I'm not expecting it to be a permanent fixture. I'm not trying to make it a permanent fixture. I'm just trying to stop the
Totally fine.
severity of it, because DC 15 with no modifiers is bad.
Especially for 14 kids. Like,
What you got, Nyam?
I almost
I have a
feel-
question.
Yes.
I have a wild companion.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay, I was not aware of that. What do you got?
Well, it just says, as an action, you can expend the use of your wild shape feature to cast the Find Familiar spell without material
Oh.
components.
Oh, that feature. Okay.
But
Yeah.
if what is my wild companion?
Whatever you want.
I mean,
It's
Could be an owl, a raven, a hawk, a snake, an octopus, a fish. There's a list specifically in the Find
yeah,
Familiar spell.
I'm gonna
something
grab
warm and fuzzy.
like a
Like a rabbit?
weasel or a
Bigger.
rabbit.
Can we
Or
go
a
bigger?
fox.
No, you can't go
Damn it.
bigger. They have to be small.
Fox.
A fox is an option.
Yep.
It might make the rabbit a little nervous, though.
No, I was just trying to think of something warm and fuzzy and big that could snuggle with the baby.
I mean, rabbits get pretty big. You've seen those jackrabbits?
Yeah, they can
Yeah.
be pretty chungus.
We've all been to Shepherd. We've seen how big jackrabbits can get.
And I can only call one, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Now, there are some other animal summoning spells that are available to the druid, that you may or may not have prepared, that would allow you to summon essentially fuzzy animals for everyone.
I do have proficiencies in animal handling, and nature. So I was just
Would
trying to
help
see
if we had those animals on hand to handle.
Right. I was just trying
Yeah.
to see if any of that would help.
It might. That's 1 hour for the fox, I think.
Should be.
It disappears after an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It'd be so about the same as any other summoning spell that we could muster.
Yeah,
Also-
that's 2 uses before her long rest is complete, and then she goes back.
Actually, she gets her
What
on a short rest because wild shape.
about my own wild shape?
Yes, but she's in the middle of the long rest.
Mm-hmm.
You could.
The wild shape was definitely an option.
So I
And if we
could
do that,
What is it?
assume the shape of something big and fuzzy, like a bear.
Right. Like if you had
like
bear
a
on
black
your
bear
list of
or a
things-
wolf or a,
Yeah.
I think a
Yeah,
deer
absolutely.
would fit.
At level 3,
Which-
what is it? 1/8 challenge rating?
One, I think it's
Yeah.
1/8 at second. No,
yeah,
it's
it's
1/4 at second, 1/2 at fourth, 1 at eighth.
so it's 1/4 that you would have seen before reasonably. Grew up in a
Mhm.
forest, so
because of where you grew up, I would imagine that you've seen a number of fuzzy things. I know we didn't specifically talk about what wild
Right.
shapes you had, but
Uh,
A boar
reasonable.
could fit, a cow could fit,
you could.
an
you could.
elk could fit.
You could be a goat. You can
Just
also
trying to
be.
Think of something warm and fuzzy that would help generate body heat for the kids.
Yeah, I think the largest thing you could be that would generate body heat is a goat or a fucking jackal. But yeah, that's at the current level you're at.
Okay.
Thinking large with fur. So
Right.
that's giving us Cow. Let me hang on. Go. We can put a size range on that.
Oh
Where
god, I
is
forgot
it?
their cows exist. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just be a cow. This
Size.
biggest animal
Large.
that would
Okay.
and cows are meant for warm weather, so they burn a lot of heat, or they just disperse a lot of heat without
Yeah.
bothering to conserve a lot of it.
So large with fur, I'm seeing cow, elk, like realistically for this type of environment. Walrus, and that's pretty much it for large with fur.
Wanna be a walrus.
Going down a size, you have things like wolf, black bear, I think giant badger. Like there's options.
Mhm.
And since that's 2 hours per short rest right now, it's not
That would
terrible.
finish out that would finish out this rest at least.
Yep. Yep.
Right. Okay, so we at least those are things we can do after we try to cover the holes.
Yeah.
Which your first bit. So there's 2 hours left, and we can kind of start from that part. So if you wanted to do that now, then by all means, you're more than welcome to.
Is that the plan?
I have no objection to it.
No, yeah.
Sorry. I'm a growing boy. I gotta eat my veggies. There we go. So yeah, what was it that you would like to turn into?
Uh,
I know you said something warm and fuzzy, and that narrows it down a little bit.
right. I'm just thinking of something that's going to generate heat, warmth for the kids, and not
Okay.
scare the hell out of them.
I think there were a couple non-predatory options that were thrown out there. I think goats, cows,
Elk would probably
Elk?
be a good one.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think elks typically eat children. At least, I mean,
Mm-mm.
I could be wrong, but
About the most dangerous thing on them is that if they're male, they'll have their stags.
Hate it.
Hmm?
It doesn't matter.
Their antlers, their horns.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go with an elk. And then that way it's just something that can be there and warm.
That.
my timing was on point tonight.
Also, I
Of
just
course,
realized I am
looking
gonna
at
want to be in
STIRIA,
for
like,
any of this.
I'm going to turn into a creature, so don't let them kill me. Please.
I'm just I highly doubt a kid is gonna be an issue, but I will give the words of encouragement towards the kids to it's safe. It'll be nice and cozy and comfy.
Okay. So yeah,
While
you're able to
busy,
do that.
yeah, can't do much more than that though because I have to focus on the wall.
That's fine. Gotcha.
Which it's really great that shape water is
It is such a potent
burn
cantrip.
all spell slots over this period of time. That would be terrible. Or
Yeah.
spell points rather, because slots are trash. I'll fight anyone on it. But yes, you're able to turn into an elk, and kind of gather around, and the children, more in their is essentially half awake state. They're just kind of, and then just end up, you just end up with like a whole bunch of kids just dogpiling on you, pretty much.
That's fine.
Just all wrapped up in the blankets,
And huddled around the elk.
huddled around the elk for warmth. Children, that needs to be on a T-shirt. We just start selling Rolling Nomads T-shirts with just like quotes from all these things. That would be great. Huddle around the elk for warmth. No, but so you're able to do that.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah. Yeah, anyone watching, if you're an artist who wanted to design a t-shirt for the Rolling Nomads, hit us up. Hashtag shameless plug. Anyway, moving on.
Hashtag shameless plug.
So, yeah, you're able to do that. Styria, your focus being on maintaining the wall. Now, during all of this time, the winds are not letting up by any means. But you've managed to keep those out, thanks to your quick thinking there.
Yep.
And really just kind of prevent that draft from coming in and
Yep.
just
Means-
wrecking house.
That means I think we've handled both the cold and mitigated the wind at least.
You have indeed. You have
Which means
indeed.
whatever the second ability check is on
Well-
this is going to be much easier.
Yep. And actually, because of that change in temperature, so the things that were contributing to it initially were both
Low temp and wind.
correct, the temperature drop and the wind. So since you two have working together and thinking fast, you have mitigated that. At the end of the second bit, there originally was going to be a second check, but you guys have solved that problem effectively. The blizzard is going on strong outside, but we end this second watch and the long rest, excuse me, without the need for the second check there. So at this point, RA-THERIS and ZERRIS, you would be joining us along with the children awakening as well.
Excellent.
Got a system question for you.
Sure.
Exhaustion is removed at the end of a long rest.
Mm.
I incurred a point of exhaustion during a long rest.
So would it persist or
Yeah.
That's. I think technically that falls under the thing, because isn't there a thing for like that for spellcasters as well, where if you cast a spell during the rest, and then upon completing the rest, you still get the slots or the points or whatever?
technically yes, it's called a rest trick. However, some DMs don't allow that.
Yeah.
I see.
So it's up to you here, Dan,
Mm.
because get everything at the end of a long rest.
That is true. I would say that because it happened so early into the rest, that I'm going to go ahead and allow it.
Cool.
So
Okay.
RA-THERIS sheds an outer layer of frost that had formed, breaking the outer layer of goo, which falls to the ground. As time passes, it will likely thaw, and he will have to collect it.
that is an interesting image.
That is very macabre.
Yeah. Not
Ew.
not the worst it could have been. Not the worst it
Ew.
could have been. But now I'm picturing it, and so is everyone watching.
Yes.
Why'd you have to make it so crusty? I heard that.
Thermal-
I heard that. Who fucking
The ZERRIS designed me to take on an igloo-like coating if I should get too cold.
Oh my god.
Ice is a very effective insulator. Looks
But, like,
around to the ice walls,
someone
as we
snort
see.
at that. Like, I don't know if that was a painful snort or if someone was holding back a spit take, but that was gold.
David, help.
So you guys are rejoining us. And now you waking up, you do see, there's an elk surrounded by children. And not really sure how that got in here. And the walls are covered in ice. And Styria is kind of just running around. Just little magic here, little magic there.
Just
And
doing
just-
my best to make sure shit's fucking patched
Oh, yeah.
right now.
So you're effectively in an igloo with an elk.
Okay.
Will probably be seeing me doing something I don't normally do, and that is breaking a sweat.
Styria, where's Niam?
Nyam is the elk. She's trying to keep the kids warm. Real quick, how's the fire? as you just see me just sort of waving my hands and just frantically trying to maintain an ice wall on the far edge of the.
It appears to be going out. There is no wood in it.
And there's been nobody tending to it for a good portion of the night because elks don't tend to fires typically, and you've been busy with water.
Not an issue. It's early morning now.
Correct.
Okay.
If I mathed right, it should be about 8 a.m.
Okay.
Closer to 6.
6?
But yeah.
It should be 6.
I see.
We didn't go to sleep at 12.
It'd be closer to 6, and if
didn't
we're on the
math
4th watch, it would actually technically be somewhere around like 4:30.
Styria.
No, the watch is finished.
Yeah, the what?
If the last watch is finished, we'll be at 6.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Then 06.
Okay. I doubt the mayor will be in now.
Correct. So your meeting with him would have been at about 10.
Okay.
So you've still got about 4 hours until.
Plenty of time to.
Why
some
ice?
drugs. Needed something to block the wind. And there wasn't enough wood. So
Looks at the elk. Looks at you. Looks at the elk. Unable to produce wood?
just like, nope, not really. Really good with water stuff though.
Unfortunate.
We
Sure,
Elk's
probably.
just gonna.
If you don't mind, would you mind tending to the fire real quick if it's going out?
Goes over to the fire. Generates 2 pseudopods. Tends to the fire. Still is in blob form. Never took humanoid form.
that's fine.
Bear in mind, you're talking to someone who's seen you in a blob form multiple times before, so it doesn't bother her as much.
Not trying to bother you. I just didn't see a reason to take humanoid form yet.
Fair enough.
The children look on with both some with a sense of wonderment and confusion, and others with uncertainty and kind of like ew.
Just don't look them directly in the pseudopods, children.
Indeed, I will be unable to make eye contact with you that way. I cannot see it through them.
Naturally, some of the children will do the opposite of what you told them to do.
And look them right in the pseudos.
Yep, right in the students.
The structure will hold for a time, Styria.
I'll make it hold long enough until the storm subsides, but we'll have to do something about this after the fact because I'm pretty sure the expanding ice is going to cause some problems.
It requires better insulation, better quality wood,
We'll take care of that.
or large quantities of dead animals.
We will take care of that.
The elk just
We
kinda
are
looks
going
up.
to kill many animals.
We are
Yep.
going to require many dead animals.
Understood. We shall acquire many dead animals. Shall I start with the ones outside?
No, not quite. Styria, myself and RA-THERIS, are we needed for the time being? We're going to, if not, we're going to venture into the storm and see if we can gather some supplies.
Go over to RA-THERIS. I'm going to ask, you've got some arcane talents, right?
I am trained in wizardry.
Okay, that helps. If that's going to be the case, then NIAM, can you go with to make sure that Sir ZERRIS is okay?
I'll be fine. I'm only going into town.
She is providing warmth for the children.
I look over and this is like, I certainly understand that, but once we get that fire going, we can huddle them around that, and I can start working on the flow above it.
You'll need someone to tend to the fire.
There are many hands here.
True. NIAM, you may join us if you wish. Any of you may, but...
Real quick, I'm going to look over to ZERRIS and say, like, go get Tanya. She'll know what to do.
Of course. RA-THERIS, will you join me?
Yes, ZERRIS. I will gladly venture into the storm with you.
Do you have your cloak?
Yes.
Good.
Picks up cloak. Recollects frosted goo.
Let's ride the elk into town.
Takes humanoid form
Just
by sticking his legs out the top of him, then standing up.
If Niam, are you joining us? Niam?
the big old elk's gonna stand up.
Okay.
Ultimately, your choice. I feel like it would be 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, either way. So,
Yeah.
really argue for or against.
We'll retrieve Tanya. And then, of course, I have my meeting in a few hours. I need to make some preparations as well.
Okay, partially why I was asking to get Tanya, because you're
Yes.
going to be predisposed.
Yes. If anything, Niam, you can lead Tanya back here while RA-THERIS and I make our way to the mayor's abode, workplace.
Next hole.
And I will hand RA-THERIS the platinum ring. I need you to wear this at all times.
Constitutes wearing.
On your finger.
Is it specific to a spell that it must be worn on a finger?
It must be worn.
Doesn't have to
Understood.
be on-
As he holds up his gooey fingers, you just see the ring fall.
Into his veins, into his vascular system. Lovely.
No, and he's goo, so up, and then it joins a cluster of the three gemstones that have been there, and then the pearl kind of gets stuck in it.
That'll work. That'll work just fine. Excellent. Tanya will be with you shortly. Niam, do you have to be a 7-ton elk as we travel through the town?
7-ton elk.
I don't know the sizes of elk. I am not
Hey man,
I'm a
hey man,
city
a ton
boy.
is 2,000 pounds.
Average-
A ton is
listen.
2,000 pounds, my guy.
Average
Listen.
weight's going to be about 850.
Listen, I make knives. I can do camping and like survival, but I am ultimately a city boy at heart. Okay,
I actually
don't fuck with
overestimated that average mass of an elk is about 730 pounds.
Okay, so about a
Alright.
third.
Chungus, but not elephant
Well,
size.
We're gonna go back down to Little Niam.
Back down to Little Knob.
To
Okay.
town,
Off we go.
adventure.
Taking adventure. Jumps out the door.
My dog
Yeah.
is not having.
Jumps-
As you open the door again, the storm is raging out here. You instantly feel the cold and the wind smacking in your face.
Oh man, I should have stayed in elk.
I mean, you could always turn back into an elk. That was always
Would it-
allowed.
I will say
Frick.
it would be a little bit tricky having to squeeze through a door.
We'll
It
say
would.
I probably get shot in the town.
No.
Everybody should be inside. There's a blizzard.
Uh-huh. Get that
Um,
one drunk hunter out there.
There's always
Yeah,
that one drunk hunter out there.
Always that one drunk hunter out there.
And his
It's always
husky.
got to be a Goliath too.
Yeah.
Some
So-
random orc
Or
trying to
dwarf.
bite my butt or something. No, we'll
Yeah.
pass.
In fact, it's probably
Um,
definitely a dwarf.
Now, as
Anyways.
you guys are walking out, so the door is like pushed open inward once it's freed from its hinges. But, excuse me, there is something off about the door though, as being able to see the other side of it. It almost looks like something with large claws just raked them across the front of the door. cutting deep into the wood, almost all the way through. And just from looking at it, you can tell that whatever left that could have opened the door if it wanted to.
Okay.
Great. The
Problem.
abominable snowmen are coming to get us.
Likely more Yetis. Do you think they are the same ones that rescued me?
I hope not.
I'm just gonna go ahead and side note really quick before we switch scene to ZERRIS. Soon as one of the older kids is up and around, I am gonna be asking them to help me fix this as best as they can. Right?
So when you say
Obviously,
fix this, you mean the fire? Or...
I'm talking about the fire. I'm talking about patching some holes in the walls. I'm talking
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
they can do while inside the domain so that they're actually staying, kind of warm
Oh, yeah.
to keep
all of-
everybody warm, right?
all of the children that are physically able to do so will be joining you in that endeavor.
Yep.
Yeah, they'd probably do this normally when this happens, anyways.
Possibly, which means having someone a little bit older and a little bit more finessed to be able
Right.
to coordinate who goes where is going to help.
They probably already have assigned roles, really.
They probably already do.
They do indeed.
Doesn't change the statement, though.
Nope. But excuse me. Yeah, once they're up, you will have no shortage of hands to assist you with that.
Yep.
No. None of them are magically inclined, so they can't help you in that regard.
I'm not
But
expecting any of them to be
they
magically
can do the-
inclined. I'm expecting them to have abilities that I don't.
They can handle the mundane, they can tend to the fire, they can do things like that and
Yeah.
provide you general assistance. So,
Which will hopefully be enough until Tanya gets here, who will more than likely have specialized care to be able to handle this sort of scenario, considering she's supposed to be local here.
mhm.
And with that, I'm gonna step back, let ZERRIS do his thing.
All right.
Nyam, have you ever seen anything? Have either of you ever seen anything that can make claw marks like that?
The Yetis were capable of such. All other options should be extinct at this point.
Would I have ever seen anything like this? You want a history check?
Excuse me. There's a good number of things, but in this area, the options are a little bit more limited. The claws were spaced out a little too far to be a bear. The Yetis certainly had the correct anatomy, I suppose you could say, for that. I suppose some kind of troll probably could have had a similar hand layout, or I guess hand is a simple enough way.
And audio should be
Hello
good.
again. Yeah, sorry about that. We were having some minor technical difficulties, which if you can hear us now, then we're good. Excuse me. So we can pick up where we last left off. I believe we were talking about things with hands that could have caused that mark. So just a quick recap. Yetis definitely could. Bears probably not. Maybe some kind of troll. Those would be the things that would come to mind right off the bat with, excuse me, the right hand layout and the biological structure, their anatomy and whatnot that would allow for something like that. Also, the claws themselves, it was less of a forceful hit and more raking the hand down along the door. Excuse me. And yeah, I believe that's where we left off.
Cool, out into the snow.
Yes.
Cloak around me.
I will point in the direction, hopefully of STIRIA, out of the door, and let them know that there are claw marks on the door you may want to investigate while we're out. With
soon as I get
the
it.
message spell, sorry. Cantrip.
Gotcha.
Seeing as I'll have the opportunity to respond, I'll probably say something along the lines of, I'll take a look at that as soon as I get this wall situation settled. Because realistically speaking, I am going to be stuck on that. I'm going to be stuck on this until they get back with some help.
NIAM, with that being said, do you want to stay behind in case something does appear out of the blizzard? So Stiria's not alone.
Probably should. Are you going to be okay going into town? Just you two?
I'll be fine.
I will die for him.
Don't do that.
That's fucking weird.
We'll be fine.
Okay, then I'll stay to make sure that everybody's good here.
We'll be back post haste.
Okay.
We'll send Tanya in return. RA-THERIS, do you have the ability to speak at long ranges? Is there a way that we can make contact with them?
About to say, if you start yelling, I'm going to lose my shit.
At long distance, if an individual is marked, I can prepare the message cantrip and give them messages up to a mile away.
Understood.
A non-marked individual cannot receive messages at this range.
All right. At the
A very useful ability.
we'll get to that. For the time being, we'll be back post haste. Hopefully the blizzard will die down soon. If there is anything of note, please send a runner. We'll be at the mayor's.
But then we're gone.
Yeah, we'll journey into town.
Now, with the snow and the wind and all that, it is going to take you some time to navigate through this. Because I don't know if you've ever tried to walk through a snowstorm, just even a short distance down the road. It can be quite the walk.
Yes, indeed.
Excuse me. So where was it you said you were going to try to go first?
To Tanya.
The time. Okay. Excuse me. So again, it'll take some time because her house is effectively on the other side of town, which normally, a few minutes walk. It's going to take you probably about 30 to 45 minutes to get there if you don't get lost.
Okay.
You'll be able to find it, but it's just going to take some time.
Cast disguise itself at second level.
Okay.
As I'm ordered if I am outside to disguise.
Okay, copy that.
Just so that's clear.
Mm-hmm.
I would take the first few steps out, realize in hopes that Master would contradict that order, given that nobody is expected to be out. But once he doesn't, I cast it.
Fair.
Yeah. We'll make our way to Tanya.
Sorry about that.
You're
Yeah.
good?
No, you are able to get to Tanya's. Now, doing that, spending nearly an hour in this weather, I'm gonna go ahead and ask for another one of those frost checks.
No
So,
problem.
Again, if you've got cold weather gear, I don't think either of you have cold resistance, but with the cold weather gear, that should give you a +5. And again, DC is going to be 15 on this one.
So,
Assuming the cloak counts as cold weather gear.
Yeah, I
For
gave
RA-THERIS.
RA-THERIS my cold weather.
Yeah,
cloak.
I would count that as cold weather gear.
cool, 12.
That helps.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So exhaustion. Cool.
Yeah, sorry.
I arrive with exhaustion. Let's get it. Let's
It's
get
just
this
me.
over with. We spent too much time on making it warm. We only have 2 hours. Come on.
Hey, we're going. We're going. So yeah, you knock on the door, and it takes a second, but Tanya opens it, and the door more or less try to force itself in. She's like, get inside, quick.
Enter.
And she'll close it behind you and put the little bar down. Oh, only 2 of you. Okay. To what do I owe the pleasure?
The children are in need of supplies. They need blankets and warmth. If you're able, STIRIA will said that you may know something to do.
I've got some blankets.
Good. Collect them and take them to the children.
So she'll do that, and she'll be filling up a backpack just full of old blankets. Just anything that was in the backpack before, just take it out and stuff it full of blankets.
Will you be all right in the storm?
Oh, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's a little weird seeing a storm like this time of the year, but yeah, no, this is nothing new around here. So.
Understood. I'm assuming with this level of the storm, is this going to interfere with our meeting with the mayor?
Depending on when it dies down, it shouldn't.
Understood. Would his office, would that be open still, or would he be in his home, or would he already be in his workspace?
I would think that he would be at his home, but sometimes he does stay overnight.
Understood. Understood. If I wanted to meet with him post haste, would it be? I'm aware that the propriety of it wouldn't be to show up at his house, but if I wanted to meet with him post haste, would it behoove me to be at his home instead?
I would try his office first.
Thank you. Be careful. There was something outside the home. There was scratch marks. It looked like a creature tried to find shelter.
What kind of a creature?
Unknown. Not a bear. Possibly yeti or troll, as identified by the druid.
Was
That's
large.
Very strange.
Indeed. Trolls in the cold don't make sense. Most likely yeti.
There's some trolls up in the mountains, but they don't usually come down this far, and yetis don't usually come this far into the city.
Either way, be safe outside, and
I will.
I will. When you meet with STIRIA, yes, that's all. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Please be safe.
Of course. RA-THERIS, are you going to be all right?
Yes.
Okay.
The mayor's office is in the plaza just outside this establishment. It should not be too hard to get there.
Understood. Let's make our way then.
And begins to head out.
Okay. Now, excuse me. It is on to the mayor's, correct?
Correct. It's going to be probably the worst part, because if I recall correctly, we have to cross the big street. You said the wind was coming from the south, so just a wind tunnel right there, and then into the plaza.
Right.
Cross the street before and to get here, so we can do this.
Yeah.
No, to suffocate shape water.
Good to know.
I mean, I could literally make little ice tunnels, and I'd be perfectly insulated.
I know. I made oddly creative use of that spell already.
and that was.
I don't think that's oddly creative. I feel like that's what the spell was used for. Let's go.
Oh, probably more than likely, yeah.
Let's go.
Yep. So with that, you guys are able to make it. Excuse me. Actually, real quick before we get to the meeting at the mayor's. So while you guys are in transit, we'll go ahead and do the bit with Tanya showing up. So Asteria, you'll hear a knocking at the door.
Hope that
kind of folded,
I'm gonna hope that NIAM or Bruno or Burke would be answering that door because I am still frantically trying to keep holes plugged.
Niam's gonna get the door.
Yeah. So with that, it's Tanya at the door. And yeah, sure.
with a cart of blankets.
Yep, she's got as many blankets as she could. I heard you need some blankets.
Thank you. I'm gonna help her get them inside and make sure the door's shut tight.
Yep. And she will be taking note. Being outside, she was actually able to see the claw marks and all that. Hey kids, who wants some blankets?
We're gonna take the blankets over to the fire and warm them up a little bit before we put them on the kids.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
As soon as I see Tanya coming in with the pile of blankets, I'm just gonna be breathing a sigh of relief. It's like, I owe you big time for this. Thank you so much.
No. Whew. Well, if I had known this storm was coming, I would have gotten these.
Would have gotten here, huh? I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Oh, I
Sooner.
said if I had known this storm was going to be here, I would have brought these blankets sooner.
I don't think anyone would have seen this coming, honestly.
Oh no, this is very much out of season.
All right. Real quick, as I'm hastily patching up another hole. Do you have any idea how we can keep this from being less of an emergency situation as it is? Because this is only a short-term plan.
We've got plenty of blankets. We could probably nail those to the wall for now.
And you think that'll keep the wind out?
These are some pretty thick blankets.
Okay.
We can try it on a smaller section of the wall first, and then if it doesn't work, then we can
If
try
that
something
works, then
else.
we can use that on a larger scale. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many holes are there?
Way too many for me to keep count.
The wood would essentially have to be replaced with how many holes there are throughout, and it's either holes, gaps, or the like. Sometimes both.
It's more gaps because mending would have
there is
done actual holes, but the boards don't meet.
It's a little bit of a reason why Styria is breaking a sweat right now because this was way more than she had initially thought. But yeah, if that's gonna be the plan, I'm gonna whatever spot is about to wear off will be the spot that they're gonna start patching up some of the blankets, and if that works, that's gonna be for everything. That's gonna be for every spot where we can block the wind, because that's all I'm caring enough about is blocking enough of the wind to create that tunnel where it's not gonna be.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
And with that in mind, I'm gonna ask either Bruno or Burke if one of the kids is able-bodied enough to be able to help with that.
Oh, absolutely. Again, like I said, you're gonna have no shortage of helping hands on this.
Yep.
The children that are able are gonna be they're gonna be hammering it in there to get the blankets to stick.
I'll be encouraging them to follow Tanya's direction because she's gonna know what's best.
Yep, she'll be guiding them through. The taller children will be assisting with that. Excuse me. And again, it's gonna take a little bit of time. But it is absolutely doable.
I'm gonna ask Tanya if the town shuts down during times like this.
For the most part, we'd kind of just hunker down and wait the storm out. But again, this is
One, this is not a normal storm, and two, hunkering down in a building like this is not good for the kids.
I was just
no.
wondering if there was any way that we could go get more wood, but
You think maybe the lumberyard?
The
Looking over to
lumberyard,
Tanya.
probably, but most of the shops and the like are going to be shut down right now.
Which is the problem. And that means that the blankets is probably going to be our best bet until the storm passes.
Right, because
Right?
you would also need people to bring back the lumber and the things like that, and trying to,
Which
mean,
is a problem right
just
now.
walking
because we got
across
some-
town in a storm like this is rough enough.
Yep. So since we've got ourselves a game plan, I'm going to be assisting Tanya in whatever she needs.
Copy that.
Yep.
Okay.
I know I asked her for her help, but that doesn't mean I'm not willing to help her.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Um,
I'll help put up blankets after I make sure the smaller children are bundled and staying together warm.
What we need right now is someone to make sure that the more sickly kids are being taken care of, the fire is being tended to, and then the ones that are more able-bodied can handle the blankets and the nails.
Yep.
I think that would be
And-
the best plan of action.
yeah, absolutely, and there's plenty of kids to help with that. So
Yep.
you guys are definitely able to do that. And while you
I'll
guys are,
leave.
I'm sorry.
Speaking of that, once it starts getting into the more finite, one of the more fine-tooth comb details, I'll probably be delegating some of that to Bruno because he knows the kids best. Right?
Makes sense. Yeah. But aside from that, was there anything specific beyond
I
that?
think
you
we
wanted to
have
try
our
and do?
game plan set up right now, so unless anything
Cool.
changes, we should be good to go.
Copy. All right. So
I'm going to
with
make
that-
sure the kids get fed.
yes.
Somewhere in there.
Oh yeah. You gotta have breakfast. Most important meal of the day.
Gotta get your breaky.
Yep. So while you guys are taking care of that, getting breakfast, getting the blankets up, and making sure that everybody is tended to and kept warm, we're gonna return back to ZERRIS and RA-THERIS as you come up on the mayor's estate or town. I don't know the name for this building.
It would be.
honestly.
It would, be
All-
It would
a
either
town
be the mayor's office or the mayor's mansion, depending on if the mayor lives here.
office, mansion, or estate, one of the three.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, no. Actually, yeah, a smaller town like this, it does kind of make sense.
Right.
Yep.
We're gonna roll with that. Cool. So yeah, you guys are you come up on the estate. Excuse me. And while you can see that the excuse me, some boards have been patched up to kind of protect protect some of the windows and the doors and what have you. The door itself is not locked.
Okay. RA-THERIS, just a quick word before we head in, if that's okay.
Can we please head in first? And you use your message cantrip to say the things.
Yes, smart. Thank you.
It is
Let's-
cold.
By all means, yes.
I say as I reach for the door in my hand, and there's a weird shimmer on the outside as the illusion tries to figure out which part is my fingers, because the ice of my fingers is frosting over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
We'll head in first.
Yeah.
And I will cast the message cantrip. RA-THERIS, we aren't taking no for an answer. On my
Understood.
on my signal, if need be, there will be violence.
Understood. I will kill him if required.
No murder.
Understood. No murder. Torture then.
If need be.
Understood.
We'll fully enter, closing the door behind us.
Okay. So with that, you come inside, and it is like you can still hear the wind howling outside and thrashing against the building, but it's relatively calm. Well, still a tad chilly. Uh, excuse me. There's a fireplace, as it were, burning strong. So this place is definitely occupied. Um, and from an office in the back, so there's the front entryway and there's a desk there. But behind that desk, there's another door leading into another room right there. And there is a little plaque on the door. Just a little gold plaque on a piece of wood. And it says Mayor Rugo on it. And you can hear some rummaging and shuffling around in there.
I look at the plaque. This man wasted gold on a name.
He did. Lord Mayor.
Yeah, yes, come in. Yeah, and the door isn't locked.
We'll step in.
Excuse me. And excuse me. Inside you see a nicely dressed a nicely dressed Herringon, brown fur, and he's it seems like he's been running around for quite a bit. There's just papers kind of just strewn everywhere at the moment. Yes. What can I help you with?
Apologies, we may be early for our meeting, but
Yes, you're what is it? ZERRIS.
Yes, precisely.
Yes. Yes. I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting you for quite some time. This...
No, it's perfectly fine. Like I said, we are early. If my business will be quick and swift if you have the time.
Yes. Terribly sorry. With the storm and the more recent happenings, but it's required my attention. I was able yesterday to draft for one of the estates. I left it around here somewhere. And there it is. Yes. Let's see. You were looking to... Where are my glasses? There. The old general store, yes?
Yes, if that is the what it used to be. It's dilapidated. It's now being used as
Yes. Yes, I'm trying to remember the last time that place was occupied. I believe we were just going to tear it down and build some more houses over there, but I suppose if you really want it.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're quite all right. Let's see. Yes, I suppose yes. If we were just going to tear it down, but as I said, if you want it so badly, by all the means. Now, naturally, of course, there's going to be a process of getting the building up to code and what have you before you can start running it as a storefront again.
I don't intend to be running it as a storefront, sir.
Well, that takes care of a lot of the paperwork for taxes, which makes my job just a little bit easier. And I appreciate you so much for that.
I'm happy to do so.
Yes. Let's see. Yes. What were you looking at for your down?
What is the cost of the establishment as a whole, if I may ask?
Now, let me see. The grand total was going to take you to about 2,000 gold.
I see.
We will pay
naturally,
200.
With the estate that it is,
funny.
I'm afraid, with the state that it is currently, the amount of renovations that will be needed to be made, I may not be intending to run it as a general store, but I do intend to build it as a feature of the town, something to draw in more tourism, more foot travel, if I may say. And with this current state of it, it's going to require a lot of effort and gold on my part. So I'm afraid we aren't being funny, Lord Mayor. The most we can give you is 200 gold, and I think that you'll find that that is a reasonable and fair price.
This is for your down payment.
Total, sir.
Total.
Are you aware of the area that it's in, the neighborhood?
Yes. So my records show that this plot of land, it's a original construction. The original building of this place ran for 5,000 gold.
I care not for the original price, sir. I have seen it. I have stayed the night in it. I have encountered it for myself. I have laid eyes on it. I've laid finger on it. It is not worth the original price, nor is it worth a quarter of the price, nor is it worth an eighth. No, it is worth 200 gold pieces, good sir. It will, of course, as I say, bring revenue into the town. It will make the town a safer space, a more admirable place for you to govern. Besides, you were just going to tear it down, build something new. I'm sure the cost of that was going to empty, well, at the very least, dent the city's coffers.
Then there is the matter of rebuilding, Well, I'll say that given the state of the property and the current affairs, as it were, I will be frank with you. I cannot afford another omen before this winter season, or this town may not survive through the winter. So for 200, I will accept this.
I'm glad to hear it. What ill omens have you faced this winter already?
Have you not been outside, dear boy?
It's but a storm, Lord Mayor.
At this time of the year, quite unusual, quite strange. And with the most recent murder, there's
Murder? What
yes,
murder?
It's quite gruesome. I shouldn't have said that.
You can trust us to keep your secrets here, Lord Mayor. Business doesn't leave the table.
Late last night, there was a murder in one of the districts. Now we have the suspect in custody, but given the nature of this, the people here are a superstitious lot. They believe that this storm was the wrath of the gods for such a tragedy taking place. And as the mayor of this settlement, it is my duty to respond quickly.
Consider it responded to, Lord Mayor.
We have As I've said, we have the suspect in custody, and the intent is to be hanging him this afternoon whenever this storm clears and we can actually assemble the people.
Has
Killed so quickly. Why?
If something's going to infer the wrath of the gods, my boy, then certainly we must act with haste.
And start studying the things that he likely has around the office. And if another murder happens after he is dead, would that not also incur the wrath of the gods?
My compatriot has a point.
You should hold him for a time.
He should be properly questioned.
We found him at the scene.
And has he confessed?
You called him suspect. Leads me to identify no. No confession has been given. You would waste a life.
He is in questioning. If he is to be executed, it will be today.
I'd like to speak with him. Me and my companions. Perhaps.
The suspects.
Yes.
That's not.
Consider it a service.
Not protocol.
I'm aware it's not protocol. It very rarely is. But me and my companions are well equipped for this manner of work. Consider it a service to our new community.
I cannot promise you much time.
That's fine. I will speak with the gods as well. And you should take comfort in that I don't believe that Odea or Odir would do these things to punish you.
I would say Odea can be quite, forgive my pun, quite cold at times. Especially. It's over.
The winter is not cruel, Lord Mayor. It is simply winter. If you kindly, with whatever time you may give us, we would speak with your prisoner, and we may get to the bottom of what your murderer has to say. Along with the contract for the domicile, of course.
Of course. Naturally, I'm not the one who handles interrogations and the like. For something of this nature, I was called in for some oversight, but there was something about it that I don't know what would drive a man to do such a thing.
Well, we will certainly do our best to find out.
Can we get your order in writing to allow us to speak to this individual?
Yes. Yes, of course. He starts rummaging through some drawers, and then he sign it, as well as the form for the domicile, and we'll hand both over to you.
Excellent. I take both documents and thank you, Lord Mayor.
Yes, of course, of course. Now, I must say that you're still going to have to speak with the guardsman over there for the access.
Excellent.
With your order, it should be no issue. Yes.
It shouldn't be.
I will fish out 150 gold pieces and place it onto the table. I don't expect that he will be able to count it quickly in our presence.
Not quickly enough. He is quite harebrained at the moment. No pun intended.
You should pull out 50 gold pieces worth of silver at that. 100 actual gold and 50 gold pieces worth of silver.
I don't have 50 gold pieces worth of silver otherwise. But yes, I'll place 150 gold pieces out onto the table, pre set out in a pouch, and thank him for his time.
Yep, of course. And I only ask that you do not agitate this situation further. News has already begun to get out to the masses, and this would be quite bad. It could cause a panic.
Well, like I said, Lord Mayor, your secrets are safe with us. Business does not leave the table.
Thank you. A good day to you.
And good day to you as well. I pray that the sun shines very soon.
Well, I do hope so, my boy. I do hope so.
And I will
Cool.
depart. RA-THERIS will join me.
Yeah. Once we're outside of his office, but before we leave the the estate itself, I want to just do a bit of harmless scrying. I say that like I'm casting the scry spell. I'm not. Druidcraft. What's the
Okay.
weather like for the next 24 hours?
The next 24 hours, barring current weather conditions, is set to be clear.
All right, so in my hand, a orb appears, a fractal orb, and it's pitch white until a abstract time, and then it's solid blue. As the fractals move around it, the weather will clear later today. It appears.
Excellent.
It might be worth waiting a couple of hours,
Yes.
given how far the guard post is.
Yes. We should return to our friends first. He did say that once the weather cleared, he would be executed. I'm not sure we have that much time, RA-THERIS.
Fair.
We should return to our friends and let them know the situation. Would you like to stop along the way and gather your inks?
It is unlikely that any shop owner will be present at this time.
You may be right.
We shall return post haste then.
Indeed we do.
So you are returning to the domicile then?
Yes,
Correct.
to STIRIA and NIAM and Tanya.
Excellent. Okay.
Too far off, if memory serves, there's that little path that leads pretty much straight to the domicile.
Right. So, excuse me, not nearly as long of a walk as it was to Tanya's.
I don't expect it'll yield anything, but if I may say a silent prayer to Adea as I walk, I would.
Okay. Was there anything in particular that you'd like to say with that?
Adea, God of Winter, we don't speak often. But sweet goddess, I entreat you for your kindness. I beg you to spare the town this blizzard. They may find some peace. If you do this, I will correct the grievous error of their lack of worship.
And thus the contract was set in stone. Oh shit.
So yeah, but in short time, you are able to return to the domicile.
Probably hearing the occasional hammer on steel sound
Yep.
as more blankets are being nailed to the wall.
Excellent. We'll enter.
Yep.
Ladies.
Close. Good.
And eyes falling upon basically a joint effort of plugging the fucking holes.
A number of blankets now decorate the walls. I would say probably only have about 2 or 3 more left to go at this point. All the kids are helping where they can. So, some of the taller children have some of the shorter children resting up on their shoulders so that they can try and hit the hammer, or hit the nail with the hammer.
Excellent.
Oh, good, you're back.
Yes.
How did it go with the mayor?
We have completed our task. How go things here, ladies?
Progress.
Oh,
Slow, but sure.
Trying to keep people warm.
I see.
Tanya had the genius idea of getting the blankets attached to the walls to block the wind, so
Excellent.
we started working that as best we could. We got a couple holes left, but I think we should be able to handle it from there. But as soon as we can get access to that lumber yard, we really need some fresh wood to get the walls fixed, because otherwise it's going to be falling down overnight.
Yes, we may. We will be able to pay a carpenter for that. Actually, we were able to succeed in our task, and we may have other things to take care of. RA-THERIS, if you would kindly inform them away from the children.
Understood. Ladies, would you mind coming into the front room?
Bruno, if you would join me.
Gonna steal a quick look off to Bruno and Tanya before Bruno has to go do his thing, and basically quickly say, "You guys think you can handle the rest?"
I think Bruno's joining us.
ZERRIS, you had called Bruno of it?
Yeah, I'm going to step away with Bruno, RA-THERIS, STIRIA, and NIAM, hopefully. The hope was that RA-THERIS would be able to inform NIAM, STIRIA, and Tanya while I handle my business with Bruno.
Understood.
So Bruno's already taken.
So
Well, it doesn't change the statement of the whole. You guys think we'll be able to get this fixed up while I handle other matters?
STIRIA, come.
Oh,
Waiting
yeah.
for a
Sorry.
response
Yes.
from-
Sorry. I thought you were directing that question at someone else.
Directing
Yeah.
it.
No.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
whoever
Absolutely. Please take care of what you need to.
All right, I will be right back to help out with whatever you guys need. And with that, I'm gonna flit my little self into a
Okay.
quiet corner with RA-THERIS and NIAM.
Okay.
There has been a murder.
Obviously exhausted, but still chipper. And
There
just
has
like-
been a murder.
And there goes the mood.
A violent death, from what I understand. One suspect has been apprehended. They are being hung today. It is believed this murder is the reason the storm happened.
And when did this murder take place?
During the storm,
Who
or
got
prior to the
killed?
storm. Unknown. All we know is it was particularly gruesome and unlikely done by a man. Given the mark on the door, I do not believe this individual has been appropriately
Am
accused.
I asking, but wouldn't that be a little bit fast for a murder investigation?
Investigation.
Well, 24 hours is hardly enough time in order to ascertain the true.
I'm gonna walk over to the door, open it, look out into the blizzard, close it. You expect these people to be intelligent and investigate murders. I'm gonna open it again, close it. These people who believe this blizzard was caused because of a murder. Open it, close it again.
Okay, stop. You're letting
Are-
the cold air in.
Are
Stop.
could you please elaborate on the reason you think these people are intelligent? Opens it another time.
Stop!
As soon as that happens, like I'm just hand to door, just like it's like okay, we get your point.
Okay, hold on.
He will be
Alright.
killed they will be killed as soon as the blizzard has passed. We have gotten a rite of passage to talk to him.
Right, but you're missing the point of why I asked the question.
You asked if there was an investigation. There is not one.
Wait, why are
asked
we
if it was
getting involved in this?
Well, there's that. We're outsiders. We really shouldn't be handling matters of law that are not of our concern. But at the same time, we are of the Knightly Order, so that would be our concern.
It is ZERRIS as well.
Actually, we probably should be investigating that. Anyways, beside the point. The question was, don't you think it was a little fast?
Well,
I'm
obviously,
gonna
it's
move to open the door again.
Wait,
Yeah.
stop with the door. Obviously, it's fast. So
Like, alarmingly fast. Like
somebody was
norm-
killed. They think that the storm came because of whoever was killed. And why did neither of you stop to think to ask who was killed?
It was unimportant. They are dead.
No, it's important.
No, because that can establish motive, or at least help.
At least we would have a name to try to figure out if there was some reason why they actually thought that the death was the reason for the storm. I mean, did they kill a goddess? Did they kill the Ice Queen? Did they kill
No.
Mother Nature?
It more likely
I mean,
would be
hello.
more likely if it was going to be something like that, would probably would have been like a high priestess. But even then, what would have happened to the guards
But that
or the knights that were in charge
see
of
my
stewarding? The
You are
priestess?
overthinking
Point
this.
here.
Someone was murdered. The superstitious town people think the storm is the reason. That is why it is rushed. These people are stupid. Stop overthinking it. This is not a large metropolis where that kind of mentality would happen. You are overthinking this.
I would
then
think that it would have
I'm
been
gonna be-
smart to at least ask the name of the person that was killed.
That would have been useless information.
Oh,
Actually,
Jesus
I do not
Christ.
have
I can't-
context.
I can't
Okay.
deal. I can't.
Can everyone
Ye-
please
did-
just silence for just a second? One person talk, the next person talk, one person talk, the next person talk. That's it.
The information on who would have been useless at that time. We were in the
Okay.
middle of other negotiations. Our primary purpose was to obtain this abode. We succeeded. Our secondary purpose was to obtain a rite of passage to see the individual and interrogate him.
We care.
ZERRIS cares.
All right.
Shoot me straight face.
Back to the murder topic, because it sounds like the house is made some progress on,
Yes,
which is a good thing, mind you.
it is owned outright. The deed is in ZERRIS' possession.
But do you
Where's
wanna know the
Tanya? I'm looking around for Tanya.
She's
Tanya's
helping
gonna
the
be-
children hang up blankets still.
Tanya's busy with the kids, yeah. I'm just gonna be looking at RA-THERIS and I'm gonna be like, so the reason why I asked why it was a little fast is, don't you think they might have grabbed the wrong guy?
It
Or, you
does
know,
not matter.
Or, willingly went after the wrong guy as a scapegoat, considering how fast it was?
He was at the scene. They are killing him because they are stupid people who want to appease their gods.
Okay, it looks like it's gonna be a matter of show and not tell for you. Okay,
I understand I understand you think a conspiracy is happening. That much
I
is
don't
clear.
understand why we care.
Because Zerris cares, and we are his companions.
I'm gonna stick my head around the wall. ZERRIS, why do we care?
I'm just looking at
The children will hear
NIAM.
you.
I'm just looking at NIAM.
I'll be there
and
to
I'm-
explain very shortly. I'm sorry.
I can just quickly say calmly, considering both me and Sir Zerris are Knights of the Order, and that one of our chapter houses is here in this town, it would stand to reason that both me and Sir Zerris should have reason to care, considering we are beholden to this town.
Then shouldn't the people that are here be jumping on this? Instead of us random ass strangers who have now walked in, taken over 14 orphans, bought a building, and are now what? We're going to instill ourselves into murder investigations when we don't even find out who was murdered.
Oh, believe me, I 100% understand the concerns there, because we are Outlanders, technically. We don't...
Are we trying to stay here? Are we staying here? Are we digging?
has purchased
Are we
property.
digging? Okay, okay. ZERRIS has purchased property, and now we are instilling ourselves into the lawful progression of this town. Are we staying here, or are we going to stir up trouble and then leave the 14 children to deal with the aftermath of our insanity?
If I may, Zerris said that he would be developing this location. I believe Zerris intends to take over this town and rule it, and use this as his new capital.
Yes!
Ruling
It is no.
aside,
Your blob
hang on,
is going
if I
to
may.
become 40 bazillion little pieces. I would suggest you move your patootie over here, because there are children present.
The DM is
Zerris, you said you were going to be talking with Bruno.
I just needed to,
Yeah.
while that's going on.
Mhm.
And they're probably hearing every last bit of this because this place is not soundproofed at all.
No, not at all. Not even close.
Bruno, I need you to focus and ignore the shouting.
What are they talking about?
It doesn't matter. We're gonna take care of it. But I have a gift for you and your compatriots, and I'll pull out the deed. This is now officially your home. I own this. I will not be staying here. I'm going to make sure that you have all that you need and a place to exist and to live freely. What you do with it is up to you, but I'm going to add your name here as a steward. You're going to be in charge of the estate. You have the most experience. You have the well-being of your friends and your loved ones. I am going to be certain that you are safe, but I cannot stay here. As such, I need you to keep this on your person. I need you to keep this somewhere safe. When I leave, I will leave it to you. This place is yours now. No one can take that from you. In this world, there are people that will seek your money, seek your domicile. They will take everything from you if they can. Property is one of the things that you can own that will be forever if you manage it correctly. Let no one buy this from you. Let no one take this from you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
When we have a place to put it, that it is safe, I will leave it to you, and I will make sure that we do that before I leave. I will send you money. The order will be visiting you to make sure that everything is fine, that everything's okay. It is your job to keep the other children at ease around them. No one is going to hurt you that works in that order. They are going to be bringing you money that I send. This way that you don't need to worry about surviving through the winter. You may prosper in all seasons. Anything that happens, anything at all, with the mayor, with the shopkeeper, with anyone, You send word through the order to me, and I will return, and I will handle it. When the gods are busy, and they will not protect you, I will. Do you understand?
He nods.
I am not going to pretend like you're not going to fall back into old habits. And theft may be the only way for some time. I ask that you be careful. I ask that you take only from people that can afford it, and even from those people be very picky. People that can afford to be stolen from can be cruel. Take only what you need. I will send the rest.
He's going to hug your leg. He's a little too short for a proper hug, but he's trying.
I'll kneel down and give him a hug. I'm not going to berate you and say to be good. Do what is good for you, and do what is good for your people. Habits are just habits. They are bad, neither bad nor good. Now, if you excuse me, my friends are yelling, and I don't wish to alarm you.
He got us the house!
Okay.
And then all the kids are going to come and group hug.
Aww.
Now, it is at this point, would need everybody to make a perception check.
Fuck.
Yeah. That is odd because of the fact that we're in the middle of a yelling match.
Oh,
oh shit! Oh my god!
What?
Fuck you, David, we're gods.
Fuck you, David.
I rolled the 7.
God damn it! This right there.
I have a
Oh.
level.
23.
Oh my god!
Okay. So
It would make sense that the one that's going on a fucking screen rant right now has the lowest perception.
So for everybody who did
I'm just here.
yeah. So for the ones who got like 20 plus on your perception check, the DC was much lower than that, but yeah, you guys blew it out of the water. You hear nothing. In fact, it's a lot quieter than it has been for a long time. All night.
What?
Some might
What?
say.
Wait, what? 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 Where'd the blizzard go?
Gods are good.
Just gonna look over and just like, give me just a second.
I'm in the middle of one of those open the door things.
Yep, and it's just like it's just kind of more of just a light flurry right now, and it appears to be going down.
Yeah, and I don't even notice because of how bad my perception roll was, but I'm in the middle of
Because
the
you're
one.
slamming the fucking door.
And one of those open the door things. Do you really think these people are smart? These idiots? These
And I'm just
bumpkins?
gonna slyly wait for you to finish your little rant,
These
And then I'm just
unperceptive
gonna-
fools.
and then I'm just gonna be all chipper as shit and just go like, by the way, the snow stopped.
Okay.
We should probably go handle that other thing that you were talking about while we have the chance.
Indeed,
Look
he
me
will
over-
be executed soon. But
Look
we
me
must
over-
wait for ZERRIS. My hand's still on the door.
Be making
I don't
them-
even wait. I don't even wait for you to finish that sentence. I just go straight to ZERRIS and I just ask, so what is this I'm hearing about a murder?
Hey, there are
In
children.
front of all the
attached-
children.
attached to my legs.
In front of
I'm bapping
Bapping
the
kids.
slime's arm.
Just,
Move your
just-
arm. Move your arm. Move your arm.
It's like Jello.
Okay, move yourself
Yep.
for a minute. I want to open the door.
so outside.
We will wait for ZERRIS.
Oh,
I
so the
hate
door is
you
closed.
with a passion. Can you open the door for a minute, please, mister? Open the door, close the door, open the door, close the door, open the door for a minute.
We will wait for ZERRIS.
If you had a dick, I would kick you in it. Open the goddamn door.
I
So,
currently am a simulated member.
Matter you wanted to discuss?
Yes,
Someone's
children.
getting a little antsy.
Children,
Uh,
go.
just
Can I
saying.
stick my hand through him?
What the fuck?
I mean, is that physically possible, Rother?
I think he's
I-
as solid
She
as he
can,
wants to
but
be.
she could try, but what she would do is ultimately get her hand stuck more than anything else.
Okay.
And I would impart, and likely I would start extending pseudopods up her arm.
Okay.
That's creepy.
Okay, let's go ahead and. As a player, I'm asking we start moving this along a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, Styria, you had gone to ask.
Asks Sir ZERRIS about apparently a bad thing that happens.
Yeah, I'll shake the children off and go play. Go celebrate. In over there, the adults have business. Not out of the woods yet.
And as soon as we're back into a position where we can actually speak.
The door is opened as we were waiting for ZERRIS. Shall we
Chris?
begin moving?
Well, it sounds like there's questions first.
We can ask those questions along the way. Mr. Miggs RA-THERIS made a pretty good point on that. We'll give him credit there.
Nyam, are you okay?
Why? Okay. Number one, the storm has stopped.
Mhm.
Number two, your obedient thing. Why are we getting involved in this?
What is it you said last night? People are in need of help. It's what we do for the world. There is an innocent man who may be killed for a crime he did not commit.
We don't even know what happened. You didn't even bother to find out the name of the murdered person. Is it a person? Is it a duck?
We procured a rite of passage. We know it's a person. We procured a rite of passage and know we can interrogate, investigate on our own. But the fact of the matter is, an innocent
We're going to
man
have to hurry if the snow is starting to stop.
An innocent man may be killed for a crime he didn't commit, and that's personally doesn't sit right with me. You don't have to involve yourself if you don't wish to.
We have 14 children in the other room and a Yeti claw in the door and a snowstorm that came out of nowhere. Which
He
is
said
the
it was
priority
visceral.
here?
He said it was visceral.
I look over to ZERRIS and it goes like, Nyam brought up something just there. You think maybe that you might be connected?
I do.
He did say it was a vicious murder that no man should have been able to do.
I kind of want to see if I can't insight that. To put two and two together.
Okay.
I mean, that's what he's been trying to show you with the door opening this entire time.
Yeah,
Just without outright saying it. All right.
Yes.
sure.
Well, that's 15.
Nice. So just for clarity's sake, the verbiage used by the mayor was not necessarily that a man couldn't do that. He said, "I don't understand how a man could do something like that," which doesn't necessarily lean itself to something inhuman, or I mean, I realize there's more species than that here, but for simplicity,
for clarity's sake,
fits,
yeah.
But the act itself was certainly quite
A bit
atrocious,
profane.
very profane.
Yeah.
At least going off of the description. Granted, this is also coming from two people who have not seen the crime scene yet, or met with anybody involved in the case other than the mayor.
Well, that was my next question: is do we have access to the crime scene, ZERRIS, or
We should.
No.
We have a rite of passage for our
Okay.
investigation. Anything that we encounter along the way that is of sufficient obstacle, we will take care of.
Shall we initiate interrogation post haste?
More investigation, less interrogation, but That would probably be a good idea.
Can we start moving out? Can we start moving out? Yeah, yeah. Everybody agrees we're moving? Walking? Yeah? No? Yeah?
Well, I'm following
Okay.
ZERRIS, so
Sounds happy.
I can't, yeah. Didn't wait on ZERRIS. ZERRIS leads us.
Seriously,
We are ZERRIS' companions.
Okay. Yeah. Let's make our way, friends. Again, Niam, you don't have to join us if you don't wish to. It's just...
No, I'll go. Let's go. The kids will be
Yeah.
fine, right?
Tanya tells you, I can watch the kids. You guys go take care of what you need to. We can manage here.
you are a saint, Tanya. Thank you so much.
Stay safe.
I will... Never mind. Nope. I'm good.
ZERRIS, may we purchase my inks on the way?
Absolutely. Yes, if we
We need to be focusing more on the task at hand.
We're worried about a murder, but you want to stop and buy ink?
well, yes.
Let's
his-
focus
I have
on the
never been
task.
worried about the murder.
we
RA-THERIS. Can we focus on the task at hand and then we'll handle the inks later, okay?
he's been helpful.
One step at a time.
He's been helpful.
I don't doubt that, but we
He
need to handle
deserves-
things one
he
step at a
has-
time right now.
He has his own share of our coin. He deserves compensation. If you wish to press with the matter, and I agree it is a serious matter, I'll pull out the rite of passage. You may continue without us, and we'll meet you very certainly.
I'll look over to Nyam. I'm going to ask, would you please accompany me to the scene real quick?
Let's go.
Right now, I don't want anyone traveling alone.
Yes.
I'm sure you would understand that feeling yourself, considering someone just died last night.
I'm not fighting you. Let's go.
And we're off.
So it
I-
appears that we've got a little bit of a party split here. So RA-THERIS,
literally
you're
just-
getting inks.
You
Yeah,
can literally just get this with a time skip. Just we don't have to play our
Basically, yeah.
part.
Yeah, on
Just-
No, I'm just figuring out where everybody is going.
ZERRIS and RA-THERIS and
ZERRIS
I
and
are
Ra-
gonna stop on along the way and meet up with them after
No.
picking up some inks.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're getting inks, and then STIRIA and NIAM, you two are going to the
We're
scene?
spearheading the
Crime
questioning.
scene. You're going to the questioning? Then you should crime
the
scene.
crime scene or the questioning bit. Which one are you?
See,
going
now you
with?
got me all confused. Which one would we decide was top priority?
Nobody decided. RA-THERIS was saying interrogate people.
Yeah,
But
that's why I
RA-THERIS
was trying
doesn't
to
get a vote.
clarity.
Yeah. So the out of character, the rite of passage is for to spur our own investigation. We were going to take care.
Then
of
what
the,
I would need to do as
well-
part of top priority is get myself over to where the quote unquote suspect is being held and evoke jurisdiction to prevent it from being executed today
Again, we were
Right,
going
so-
to.
so that we can actually do some proper questioning.
We were going to speak with the suspect first, so that because
Right,
he
so
is in
for-
danger of being.
Which means me and Sir ZERRIS are on the same page there.
So for clarity's sake, the rite of passage, as it were, was to grant you access to the suspect for the purposes of interrogating him, or
Yes.
for questioning him, rather.
Yep.
It doesn't by itself grant you access necessarily to the scene or other aspects of the investigation.
ZERRIS is
Not
fully
necessarily,
Okay,
but
I'm just
if
making sure that
He
was
didn't-
clear.
but if some kind of sanctuary is evoked, or if this becomes a matter that requires the order's jurisdiction, it will be evoked.
The ZERRIS didn't pass that information along.
Copy.
So it realistically doesn't really change what Styria is going to be planning on trying to do.
Right.
Because
And
in her mind, someone's going to die today. We don't know if it's the right person.
Yes, we get that.
and yeah, no, I was just making sure that part was clear. But that
So if I
having
can
that
prevent
rite of
the
passage
wrong
in your
person from
possession
being
can
killed.
still
Yeah.
prove to be
Get it.
beneficial.
Oh, I never said I
Mhm.
wasn't gonna have the rite of passage. That was given to me. I'm gonna be taking advantage of that.
No,
Um,
just the extent of what it covered.
Yeah.
But since Zerris didn't specify on that, if he chooses, to use that a little bit more liberally than what was written, then we can see how that goes when we get there. But I was more or less just trying to get clarity on who was going where, so that way I know what we're doing going forward. So, is it just NIAM and STIRIA heading?
It'll
to
be
the-
me and NIAM going to the suspect.
Okay. And then with Zerris and RA-THERIS, you'll be stopping along the way and then meeting after, correct?
Correct.
Take no more than 2 minutes for us to do our business, given that I have to spend 10 gold on this ink.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I
Right.
suspect there's not going to be a whole lot of haggling going on right there because RA-THERIS is not necessarily a haggler.
Little did you know.
That would be
Surprise.
kind of funny. That would be
I
pretty
mean,
funny. not gonna
he
lie.
literally earlier in this very session haggled a 10% cost.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
would say you pointed out some obvious flaws in the product, and that brought the price down. Not
No, I literally said we will pay 200, no more.
Guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anywho.
So yeah, you guys will be able to get there, to get drinks and what have you prior to moving on. Now for NIAM and STIRIA, as you make it closer, you realize that you're not the only ones heading. In
The only one's
fact,
heading over there?
No, you notice that a large number of the townsfolk seem to be leaving their homes and heading in the same direction that you are.
Oh, that's definitely a case of picking up the pace.
Oh,
Whether or not I take to the skies or not is a differing matter. It depends upon the
Mhm.
mood of the townsfolk. So
well,
with that, am I able to
there-
discern that, or is that going to require a check?
no, I wouldn't say that it really requires a check. But they are moving as if something is about to happen, as if the people have been summoned, as it were.
Okay. Which means I'm going to have to move pretty quickly. So apologies to NIAM. I don't know if you're going to be able to keep up or not, but I'm taking to the skies. Because
I
would like to
can't
get-
fly.
You can turn into a rat and be carried by the flying one.
That is
Oh,
true.
hey,
No.
there's the thing. All right.
Yep.
Guess we'll do that.
Yep. No. So as you are coming up, you can see that the crowd has gathered around. Excuse me. They've gathered around in this meeting place, in front of the gallows.
So I was right to
Yeah,
take off.
quite a large crowd has gathered, and you can see that. In fact, as you get closer, you are able to hear the charges and what have you being read. Excuse me. The man is standing there, and even from the distance that you are, you can see that his clothes and even on him, his body and his hair, are heavily saturated in blood still. He stands there with his hands bound behind him and
His
the rope
demeanor
sitting around
right
his neck.
now.
It's
Like, is he panicked? Is he swearing to high heaven that he didn't do it? Is he like?
He definitely seems disturbed, but that's not too unusual for a man at the gallows, at least in his position.
I'm just wondering if he's trying to fight or not.
He doesn't.
You've got it all wrong. You've got the wrong guy.
No, he doesn't appear to be fighting at the moment. But
He's either
he is so, and I'll get to that in a moment. Actually, I was getting ahead of myself. So as the proffer is reading, you hear that they received a confession from this man, to the act, and as you get closer, you realize that you recognize this man.
oh really?
The man on the gallows is Todd Bromley.
That was the
And as you get closer, you hear the proffer say, "You are hereby sentenced to death by hanging." And
Todd was the dwarf, right?
executioner-
I'm trying to remember.
I'm sorry?
The name's definitely familiar. I'm just trying to put face to name. You know what I mean?
Todd was the father of the family that you escorted. And
What the fucking hell?
the executioner
Wait.
pulls the handle.
Then where's Todd's family? Then where's Todd's family? Because
The executioner pulls the handle, and as Todd's body drops, we are going to conclude there for tonight.
Oh!
motherfucker.
Ow!
Oh, should have had a Twix.
Shit.
Yeah.
Meatballs.
Yeah. So
Meatballs.
there's that. Yeah. Well, first off, I want to say, thanks everybody for joining us. And really, I'm sorry, Gilbert. Even if I do manage to get all down, I don't ever do it as eloquently as you do, just from all the practice that you get from all these things. So, what do you have for plugs?
Hello. We of course have been the Rolling Nomads. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, David, for running. Of course, we've been the Rolling Nomads. You can find us right here on Twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads every Sunday. Today's Sunday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for Cold and Twitch's Wit, our D&D campaign run by our Lesser Dungeon Master David, who has given us 14 orphans. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm their mother now.
Thank you, David.
We are
Of
their
course.
family now. Yeah, of course. Again, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time right here on Twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads. We have moved our gaming stream back over to Mondays. Tomorrow, who's to say what we're going to play? But that's usually how it goes. We kind of just decide in the moment, decide the day of what we're going to be streaming, whatnot. It's just our weekly gaming stream, joined by myself, the Will, Edge, sometimes our good friend Alex. Sometimes, hopefully soon we have a couple others that are going to be joining us. Some friends that I've made along the way for streams and actual plays and things like that. That'll be 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time over on Mondays, right here on Twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads. Fridays, we usually have our Book of Saints Sabbat Chronicle, but it is on break between Season 1 and 2. We are likely going to be picking up a Hunter in between game, little mini series to figure out what the repercussions of the Saints coming to Mexico City, is going to be like, and all that good stuff. And that'll pick up after the holidays. That'll be over on Fridays. We'll get you guys more information on that. And then Sundays as well. Before this, we have 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time over on Twitch.tv/The Onyx Path. We have our Scion Chronicle, Scion Godsend. They just killed an incarnation of the King in Yellow. And brutally, might I add. They have wrecked Carnegie Hall. New York will never be the same. We thank you.
Truly evil.
Yeah. We will get you guys more information and such. How do we get that to you? Over Twitter. @_Rolling Nomads. That's the best way to keep up to date with us for our schedules, our stream games, any late starts, any holiday breaks and vacations we might be taking. That's the best way to keep in touch with us. That and Hive Social, which we are at Rolling Nomads. No underscore, just at Rolling Nomads. Whenever that comes back up and now the servers are all squared away, we'll be posting the same thing we post to Twitter. So either or, We will eventually make the switch back over from Twitter to just directly straight up to Hive Social. But until things get more leveled out on that end, we'll be on both. How do you catch up to this? You gotta watch it on YouTube. YouTube.com/RollingNomads. That's where you can find episodes of Colder Than Twitch's Wit and Scion Godsend, as well as Book of Saints, as they are being uploaded intermittently as we go. By the end of the holidays, all things will be up to date. All things will be squared away. I will be at peace until I have entropy
No, he
happen
won't.
and I get behind again.
You'll never be at peace. Peace is a lie.
Yep, it's true. That's all I got for the Nomads. Yeah. I don't have anything to plug.
Yeah. Did anybody else have anything to plug?
I don't exist.
I'm at Ramos the Nomad everywhere. Follow me, love me. Give me
I don't
your
exist everywhere.
Give me your likes, please. That's all I got.
Yeah. Well, as Gilbert put it, we've been the Rolling Nomads. I've been your Dungeon Master, David Gagnon, and yeah. Actually, real quick, are we gonna be here next week? Because I know the holidays are right around the corner.
That's up to you guys. I'm down. Next week's not a holiday.
I'm
I'm down to
clown.
clown.
We'll be here next week then, it sounds like.
Sure. Or worst case scenario, go follow us on Twitter and
You cut out
Your
so bad,
Twitch.
David.
What?
I really
TikTok.
do.
You can
really
find
do.
us all there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna
Are
have
we
to get
planning
better at
anything
this house thing.
special for the holidays?
Are we?
Would be a question.
Ooh.
The only way to find out is to be on our Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't plan that far ahead.
'Cause
And our Twitch. And
We don't
our
know yet.
Instagram. And our TikTok.
Yeah,
probably YouTube too.
those
some point.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah,
Don't forget
yeah.
the YouTube. Tube of the U.
Twitter.
All right.
Twitter.
The tube use.
Well, before I
jump on those
butcher this
social programs
outro
there.
any more than I already have, gonna say, goodbye, everybody. You guys have a great time. Take care of yourselves. Take care. We'll see you next week or the next time we're streaming.
Bye.
Whichever comes first.
Shoddy gonna get that paper.